Hi garden friends, this is Mayla and I'm back with my backyard garden tour. Today is May 30th. I did my front yard and my side yard on yesterday, and so I'm back again today to complete this garden tour for the month of May on May 30th for my backyard. I have a lot to show you guys, a lot of talking about projects that are coming up that's going to happen back here. And please, we're going to have a judgment-free zone today with this backyard because I'm so embarrassed to show you guys how it is. I have spent a lot of time on my front yard this season, and so I have neglected this backyard a lot. So we're going to show you the good, the bad, and the ugly, and let's get started. Okay. All right, we are going to start this tour off right here. This is my driveway side. Oh, there's JoJo. Hey, JoJo. You see, he was laying in my flower bed. I cannot turn the camera around because I have a delivery right there that I will spoil a surprise that I have for you guys within the next couple of weeks. But we are going to try to get around my delivery and show you guys this garden bed. So this is the driveway garden bed where I have just hostas. Again, this is behind where my son and my husband parks, so there's a lot of shade here. Occasionally their cars will be pulled all the way up and even over this garden bed to make room for other people. So I needed something low growing here, but just to kind of dress up the fence. I did not want the fence to just come to the driveway. I wanted something to kind of soften the fence line up a little bit. At the end over here, I'm trying to avoid you guys seeing what I have here, but at the end down there, at the very end there, I have Carl Forster. There's 3 of them. The one on the very end has been there. The other 2 I just transplanted and put there about maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. So the one on the end has gotten more sun and more water than the other 2. The other 2 were in the middle and then on the corner of this bed. And so they were all the same size when they were planted last fall or last summer. But you can look at the difference in the growth. You know, those 2 are really small, and then look how big that one is. So I'll be happy when those 2 catch up, and then we'll have a nice clump of the Carl Forster ornamental grass there. And then here we have, I know that's a Francis Williams. That's a Francis William. And I believe that's a Francis William. I am not certain, but I believe that is a, I'm not sure. But is this a big weed growing in the middle of it? Yes. Let's get that out of here. There we go. All right. So yes, we just have some low growing hostas. Bye, JoJo. That is my neighbor's cat, and he just roams the neighborhood. He owns the neighborhood. There we go. Here, these are some pots that I potted up with you guys maybe 4 or 5 videos ago. I still have not put them into their final resting places, but this is my Dragon Prince cryptomeria, and it looked really bad when I put it here. It has put out a lot more growth since I put it in this pot, and I was able to get in there and kind of cut off and pull out a bunch of the little dead needles. So I'm hoping this bounced back really nicely, and maybe in the fall I can put it back out in the landscape. My 2 planters flanking my backyard gate with, of course, my favorite hosta, the guacamole, hosta in each. And then over here is my bird of paradise tree. And here's the coleus that we planted up not too long ago, guys. And look at it. It is growing so big. Look at these beautiful leaves. These were the pieces that was from another plant that was broken that I just stuck in the soil, and it's like completely grown. That was another one. And then that was one back here. And I just got a couple plants over here. That was a couple pieces of hosta that broke off that I stuck into some soil to try to root. And that is a hydrangea back there that I'm trying to rehab. This is my little rehab section. It's a lot of shade over here. It's right outside one of my doorways, and I can just open the door, water them, and tend to them as needed. So I hide them back there. I also shared with you guys my little walkway into my backyard where I planted my pavers and put the dwarf mundo grass. Dwarf mundo grass is starting to get a little bit bigger. I'm definitely going to have to buy some more though. So I'm starting to think that the dwarf mundo grass that I bought off of Poshmark is really not dwarf mundo grass. That looks very different from that. They are much skinnier and they look much taller. So I think I bought just mundo grass. So my local Home Depot has these a lot. That's actually where I bought the pallets of those from last year. So I may go and buy a few more containers and kind of split them up and spread them out so that those can connect a little bit quicker. Let's head into the backyard. And remember, guys, this is a judgment-free zone. Okay, now I'm in my backyard and I am facing my gate. To the left of me, this is one of the judgment-free zone areas. We are soon about to clear all of this out because we have a little project going on here soon. These are the 3 rainwater barrels that I purchased last year. I have every intention on completing that project soon, just haven't gotten to it. I'm going to connect them to 3 of my downspouts here in the backyard, and they're turned upside down, but on the top it's like a planter where I can plant something into it, and then the like you can cut into the gutter and then divert it and have the rainwater go into the barrel, and then I could connect a water hose to that, and I can use it as water to water my plants. So those are 3 that I'm going to get that project done at some point. I will link in the description box below where I bought them. You can't really tell how they look now, but they're really nice. You turn them upside down. You can plant like a fern or whatever it is on top. If you want to plant something like evergreen or whatever, you can plant that on top, and then the rainwater goes into a totally different section. That Blue Point juniper is going to come out of that pot that it's been in for about 2 years. I know it looks a little lopsided, but it's leaning. We're going to pull that out and we're going to plant that, and I will tell you where that's going to go later. So all of this is going to be redone within the next couple of weeks. Over here is starting my fence border. It's my beloved. I absolutely love this tree. This is the tricolor dapple willow flamingo tree. I have 2 of them now with plans on getting more for my landscape. It loves water. It is a form of a willow, but it does not get too big. This tree gets 8 to 10 feet tall. So that's one there. I need to get at a couple of those suckers in the bottom. That's the thing with these trees, they sucker a lot. You have to continually, even after they're mature, you have to continually cut the suckers out the bottom. But once it grows up, it should like reach the top of the fence line, and then the lollipop the lollipop top will be over the fence. Then here I have some sedum. I think one is an autumn joy, and that one back there, I'm not sure exactly which one that is. Here I have my firelight hydrangea, and this will grow nice and big and kind of take up this whole space here. Here, y'all, I'm so excited. This is my astilbe. So last year these were all in different places of my yard, and they were fried. They did not bloom. They looked horrible. I dug them all up and I moved them over here, and just look at them. These were all planted as bulbs. Well, maybe, no, I take that back. Maybe two of these were bulbs or bare root. The others I actually purchased. But look at them. They're even starting to put out some bloom stalks. I'm so excited. Look at that. Alright. This here is my bee balm monarda. It is the, I think it's called Fireball bee balm. I'm not certain, but this one and this one is the same thing. This one is not completely dead. I might need to dig it out and put it in a pot, kind of rehab it a little bit. I'm not sure why it's looking like that, but this one over here is just thriving. And look at those beautiful color leaves, those copper leaves. Here behind it I have two of my little Henry sweet spires. They bloomed in the springtime, and I believe they were blooming when I did my April, but you see the spent blooms there. And I might come and cut off the little bloom heads, and then I might not. I don't believe this will bloom again. It blooms one time in the spring, and then that's it. In the fall time, these have amazing red and wine color. It's so beautiful, and they hold their leaves and like for a really long time. I did not prune them at all this year. Last year was the first year, so I think next year is going to be my year for pruning a lot of this stuff in my garden. Behind it in the corner, I have another one of my tricolor dapple willow trees. This one was a little bit bigger than that one when I purchased it, so you can tell. And I did not prune either one this year. Last year was the first year for both of them. I will prune it because it's a little wild. It's a little wild, so I'm gonna prune these back. And actually this tree is very easy to propagate, so I think I'm gonna cut off some of those and see if I can get them to root. Excuse me. So it's very easy to propagate, so I'm gonna cut off some and see if I can get it to root, and maybe grow some for my mom for her garden. Now once I prune this stuff down and tame that, over here back behind it in the corner I have I don't know if it's hard to see, but that is a Sugar Shack button bush. I need to get at those suckers before they get too wild. But this Sugar Shack button bush, if you notice, everything over here loves water. That Sugar Shack button bush loves boggy, wet areas. So if you have a area in your yard that has standing water, boggy, just takes a long time to drain, Sugar Shack button bush is a perfect bush. This dapple willow tree is a perfect small landscape tree. The Monarda is absolutely perfect for wet, boggy areas. These little Henry Sweet Spires. These are, I forget every time. There's 3 of them. And this is I cannot remember. I will put up on the screen what it is. But whatever it is a perennial that loves water. Loves wet, boggy soil. I will post on the screen what these are. They have not bloomed yet either. Here along this row, I have a line of just repeating same thing, starting with the dapple willow bush. So this is the absolute same thing as this, except this is tree form and then this is bush. This is shrub. So I have 4 of the small shrubs, and these were purchased as I think like 2-gallon in the fall, and I planted them, and look at how big they've grown. Then I have my Eagleston holly tree. This is evergreen. This tree will get to be about 15 to 20 feet tall, and about maybe 10, the canopy will be about 10 feet wide. So I have that there, and it's like centered on the post. Then I have another tricolor dapple willow shrub, and then an Eagleston holly tree. So what I plan on doing, and so on, 1 more dapple willow, 1 more Eagleston holly, and then finishing it off with another dapple willow. So what I plan on for these 3 trees, I plan on limbing them up until the trunk gets to the top of the fence, which is 6 feet, and then the canopy be over the fence to kind of give us some privacy and block out the roof line of these other houses. And so that tree and that tree should meet in the middle. That tree and that tree should meet in the middle. I don't have anything planted down below yet. At some point later on, I probably will get something low growing or put some annuals in the front or something. I'm not sure. But I just got to do it a little bit at a time. Here, starting with the curve, and I don't know if you guys can see this, the lighting is horrible right now, and we have a ton of weeds to pull back here, but I have some ground cover sedum, and this is like the sun sparkler. So there's that. Some of the grass is trying to creep into the flower bed, and this is one of the beds that I did by cardboard sheet mulching. I started it in the fall of 2023, and then last year we had quite a bit of grass growing up through, and I put down a few more cardboards on top of that and mulched it really good. And now the only places that the grass is growing in is just kind of like right here along the front in between some of the bricks, and then we just have a few weeds, but pretty much everything else is nothing. So you can just expect a year or 2 of pulling grass if you cardboard sheet mulch on top of existing lawn. Right here I have another firelight hydrangea, and it is got a lot of buds. So this is going to bloom nicely. I've got this space open right here I have an orange rocket barberry that I'm going to show you. I've already purchased it. It's over behind me. I'm going to pop that in right here. I felt like I needed something like a different color to brighten up this wall of green. So I'm going to put that orange rocket orange rocket barberry here. Now along the front, I have my purple daydream floor petalums. I have 4 of them. And actually I have planned, so this one I just took out of a pot and planted it here. Because this was purchased and was the same size as the ones in the ground. Well, the one that I put in the pot was not doing as good, so I removed it from the pot and I put it here. And it actually has bounced back a lot since I put it in the ground. I have one more in another pot that I'm going to put down over here, right here. I'm going to remove that sedum, and I'm going to take that sedum and move it back a little bit, and I'm going to put my 5th purple daydream lower petalum there, so I can have 5 across the front. Here is my Gara, and I'm so sorry about this shadow. Here's my Gara, and I need to deadhead it because the blooms have started to peter out. If I deadhead it, hopefully it'll bloom again. But those are the, y'all, this was just 3. It was, yeah, that was one plant, that was the second one, and then that was the third one. And I went back and I purchased 4 more, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I just planted those about 2 or 3 weeks ago, so it'll take a while. I apologize, we got all kind of trains, cars, automobiles going on right now. Okay, I have a bunch more sedums over here. Here's some more of the ground cover sedum. It's more of the blue purple color, and this is low growing and it spreads. So this will be a nice little low growing patch of that right here. That is another autumn joy sedum, and that is an autumn joy sedum. Y'all, look at my limelight. My limelight, I only bought 1. Well, I thought I only had 1. It looks like I have 2 because one of them was mislabeled. The one in the front had done a lot of leaning. The branches was falling down, and so I have to kind of shape that one back up. But this one is absolutely, it has like, it's grown like perfectly, and it's growing upwards and nothing is leaning. So I really like that. That's my limelight that I'm going to have back here in this corner, and I will let fill in all this space. Back behind here I have 2 of my globe arborvitaes. Well, no, 3. 1, 2, and 3. And these are the Hetz midget arborvitaes. So I messed up when I put the Gara here. I did not know the Gara was going to be this big and beautiful, and it is like completely overshadowing everything behind it. So what I believe I'm going to do in the fall, not now, but in the fall, I will probably dig those up and put them behind the globe arborvitaes in one straight like little swoop in front of the tree. And then dotted throughout here I have some veronicas. That's a veronica. And then I have some more. This is the silver sea veronica. I need to cut those blooms off so it can bloom again. And y'all, my coneflowers have started to bloom, and they are so beautiful. I love echinacea. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Look at all of those. Oh, they're just gonna pop. That one is like a buttery yellow. And then that's the white. And then I have another white right there. There's one back there that I believe I lost. It was back there. I believe I lost that one. I believe I maybe lost two of them. It should have been, well, maybe I only had, I don't know. I think I lost two of them. I think I had more of these over here. But I have more to come. I'll show you later. My Paul's Gold lemon thread cypress that I love so much are there. This is the Royal Raindrops crab apple tree. And it already bloomed in the spring. It was absolutely gorgeous. But after that, it just looks like this for the rest of the season. And I'm fine with that. I love the color. Over here, I have, let me get through here. I have, this is the, I think Globosa, Nana Globosa. I'm not sure the name. I have the tag in the house, in my bag. I need to get that out, and I'll put the name of this on my screen. But I absolutely love this evergreen. It is, I love the texture. Look at it. Oh, I just absolutely love it. So now this and this, I've made an executive decision, and we're going to move it. I knew it was a bad decision putting, these are pampas grass, and pampas grass can get very large. It can clump up the base, and it can be really hard to dig out. And look at what I put it in front of, my electrical poles. That was not the smartest decision, but this was like a big open spot in my yard that I had, and it was the only open place that I had. And I would absolutely love for that pampas grass to just grow up here in this corner, and those big beautiful tall stalks to just like light up this corner. But it's not smart, so I'm gonna dig this up. I don't know what's going on with that one. Now, I do know pampas grass takes a long time to come back, but it has been warm enough for me to start seeing something, and I don't see anything out of that one. But if not, that's okay. I will dig this one up, and I'm going to relocate it and transplant it in my mom's house. They have a ton of space to put things, so either in her backyard somewhere or their rental house that is right behind them, we're gonna put that. I have a question. If any of you know what this is, I am seeing these little balls on my mulch, and I don't know what that is. It's there. There's some right here. Some more over there. And it's not everywhere, but it's just kind of scattered throughout. There's some under here. I don't know what that is. Is that some kind of fungus or something from the soil being wet from all the rain? It may be. So that is that corner. Now we're gonna head to my fence border. I have my honeysuckle espalier going all down the line. I have 4 sections, and in each section I have 4 diamonds. Each diamond is 4 feet wide. So that's, and then there's a 4-foot space between each section where I've planted my emerald green arborvitae. I have 3 of those. At the base of my espalier, I have some lamb's ear, and some of them are Helen von Steen, because like I can tell, see if you can tell the difference between that lamb's ear and that lamb's ear. This is silver carpet. The leaves are much smaller, and the clumping habit is the habit, it grows very tight. This is Helen von Steen, and the leaves are much bigger, and it's a little bit airier growth pattern. I I have a few iris planted here, and then I just finished off my white album winter creeper euonymus. They're very tiny now. They were quart size, but these grow to 1.5 to 2 feet tall by like 2 to 3 feet wide. So hopefully this will be kind of like low growing all the way down the border. And then I'll have like lamb's ear in the middle, iris, lamb's ear, iris, and then the euonymus will be along the front. I have not finished up. I still need to mulch this area, put a little bit more fertilizer down, and then it will look much better. That's that. So this garden bed right here is going to be changed. The wood trellis that I built with my father is going to go right here, and I have a Eden climber rose that I'm going to plant in front of it to grow on top. These planters with those, it's going to be moved, and the coneflowers will stay in front of the window. I have a couple that I need to move though. I think I lost one. There was one there. It's gone. So I need to move that one and bring them over here. So we'll just have like a bunch of coneflowers in front of the window, and then the wood trellis is going to be here with the rose growing on it, and then I will have the lamb's ear in front of the rose. On this corner, I'm going to remove that planter, and I'm going to plant that blue point juniper that's in that pot. I'm going to plant that right here to kind of like grow up that space. Now we have another no judgment free zone. I've got to laugh before we start talking about this, but this is one of my patio areas. It's a very small covered patio. It's not much you can do. It's only maybe 4 feet wide. It's not much you can do under there. We just recently got rid of a grill, so that's why that little empty space is there. And then we just got a bunch of junk, a bunch of cardboard boxes, a bunch of sand bags, a bunch of gravel bags. We got a bunch of stuff, tires. We are going to clean all of this up and then extend the patio all the way out to the end of the house. It's going to extend all the way out to the end of the house, and it's going to go square off here and meet there. And those pavers is what we're going to do it with. I'm going to put those pavers out, and then we are going to grow something in between the pavers. I'm not sure. I thought I had made up my mind. I decided against gravel. Initially I was gonna put gravel, but I have enough hardscape. I don't want any more rocks or gravel. I want something to soften up the pavers. So either I am going to put down seeds and do the dichondra ground cover like I did at my mom's house and over in that small garden bed, or I'm going to do more of the dwarf mundo grass, since that is evergreen. But that is very expensive, so I'm not sure if I want to do that, but we'll see. This grass is a hot mess. I have told my lawn man to not worry about this area, because I know that soon it is going to be cut very low before I till it up. But this project is soon to come. I have a couple of things that have recently come up in my family that I have to deal with, like this weekend, but I'm looking at maybe the following weekend getting started on this project. I'm gonna come in with my weed whacker. I'm gonna cut this down super low. Then I'm gonna till it up. We're gonna level it out and then start laying the pavers. Once I lay the pavers to the end of the house, then I'm going to build another walkway curving around to the other patio area. Let me show you what we have right here. This is my orange rocket barberry, y'all. So I have been following another garden channel. Her name is Lifestyle with Lulu. She lives in the Atlanta area. My neighbor's dog just came out. She lives in the Atlanta area, and she was doing a morning walk in her garden, and from way across the yard I saw this bright, beautiful color, and I messaged her and I said, I have got to know what that is. And I had an idea that this is what it was, and she confirmed it, and like 2 days later I went out and got one. So that is what I am going to put in that space right there. It'll kind of break up all the green over there. So that's that. I have some more coneflower back there that I just bought that I'm going to put in my flower beds in the gardens. I have one of my euonymus, the winter creeper, that I was not able to put in. I only planted 15 of them because I didn't have enough space. Y'all, this is a flat of vinca minor that I bought that I was going to plant along my back border, and one of my subscribers, shout out to you, said please don't plant that, it is very invasive. And I knew it was invasive, but I felt like I would be able to keep it under control. But then when I started to think, that is up against a neighbor, so it would not be very smart to put something that's invasive up against a fence line that it can potentially grow underneath and creep into their yard. So if I'm going to plant something like this, it will have to be like in an area where it's like up to my house, and it can't go any farther. You know, it can't creep into anyone else's yard. I have some of my geraniums that I need to deadhead, some of the spent blooms, but I mean, it just keeps on. Like, there's some more blooms that are about to pop. So I just need to get out here. It's been raining a lot. I've been very busy with work lately, so I haven't been out here much this week. Let's head over to the other patio area. So this is going to be the walkway. It's going to curve around, and then where the house ends here and all along this corner, we are going to extend the patio out here. Now this area is not covered, but I'm going to extend the patio with those pavers and also grow whatever I'm going to grow in between the pavers. But I think I'm not sure what I'm going to do about shade. We're not going to do a pergola. It is not in the budget. So I am not sure if I want to put up some shade sails, or if I want to possibly build something or create something like shade cloth where I can put on like a track over here and a track over there and roll it in and out when I need it. I'm not sure what I want to do yet, but more to come on that. But we are about to soon get started on these two patios. They were supposed to be done in the fall. I purchased all of these pavers and everything last year, and they have just been sitting here waiting on me. Oh, you know what? In my front yard garden tour, I said that those two sprinter boxwoods at my front door were the only two I have. That's not the truth. I forgot about these. I have one here, and I have it tied up because early spring we had a bunch of storms and a bunch of rain, like consecutively for like a week and a half, and they just like was leaning. It just like was filleted open, leaning to the side. So I tied it up. It should be better now where I can take it off so air can get through it. But that's Sprinter boxwood, and then this is another Sprinter boxwood. This is that Purple Daydream loropetalum that I am going to take out of this pot and plant over in the other garden bed. And then this is a lemon lime Nandina. I had two of these. One of them has gone on to glory, and this one is trying to go. I have not been watering it. I need to fertilize it, cut it back, put it over in my rehab area and see what we can do about this. And so I've just got stuff just dumped everywhere. I got gas cans, coolers, you know, chairs turned upside down, buckets. So my lawn furniture is covered up, it's protected. I'm gonna have to give that rug a nice clean, but once we do the patio, move all this, clean the rug, and just get all this extra stuff out of the way, this is gonna be a nice area. And I think I'm gonna like string some lights over here. So I want my outdoor living space to be nice. So that's that. All right, here's another area. I have a little lime hydrangea at the front of my shade garden. So this was supposed to be my shade garden. I thought it was all shade, but then I quickly found out when summer came along last year that it was not any shade at all. It was full sun. And so I put up some shade sails, and pretty much it does the job. I had to remove a lot of hosta out of here. I had to remove a lot of astilbe out of here. So what I have now, and by putting up the shade sails, it has created enough shade for these to survive. I do want to put up one more, and I need to straighten that one out. And then I purchased one more. It has not arrived yet, but I'm going to put up a third one. But here I have some more in the curve where this like front border gets more sun. I have some of the ground cover sedum, and then over here tucked in the corner beside the hydrangea is some astilbe. Now those two were definitely bare root. Those two were bare root, and that one was bare root. I purchased that one from Lowe's. So look at those. I mean, I never transplanted those. These were fine. The first year, which was last summer, I planted the bare root in the fall of 2023. Last summer, it only put on foliage. I did not get any blooms. But this year, look at it. Now see, that's the thing. You have to be patient when you buy bulbs and bare root and things like that. It's a lot cheaper and you get a lot more for your money, but you may have to wait a year or two before you get the beautiful blooms. These ferns were bulbs. I had like 3 or 4 ferns, but those are the only 2 that survived. This is the silver carpet lamb's ear, and see, look at the difference. Those small leaves, and you see how tightly the growth habit is. That's one, and then that's one back there. I've got a couple of hostas that were bulbs, and they do pretty fine. I keep this area watered very well. There's a heuchera that has survived. Back here behind these, I have my 3 ascot rainbow euphorbias, and those are evergreen. And then I have two of the Miner's Merlot in front of it. It's hard, may be hard to see for the dark mulch. That's one, and then that's one. This is my wax leaf ligustrum. It's a privet shrub or tree. It's actually a shrub, but what I am going to do is I am going to limit up into tree form. So I already started a little bit. This was half this size last year when I planted it. It has put on a lot of growth, but I have it staked where I have 1 liter growing up, and I have cut off several of the branches at the bottom, but I'm gonna wait to cut off more. I think by the time it's over, it's gonna be a multi-trunk tree, maybe 2 or 3. So I probably can cut off maybe those 2 right there and leave about 2 or 3 trunks. But this will grow to about 10 to 12 feet tall, and it blooms, has these nice big beautiful white cluster blooms, and it is evergreen. So once this gets a little bit taller, it will cast more shade on this garden, this shade garden that I'm creating. I am determined for this to be a shade garden one day. Back here behind the tree, up against the fence in the corner, I have a Gatsby moon hydrangea. This is an oak leaf hydrangea. Look at how big and beautiful those leaves are. And the oak leaf hydrangeas need a lot of shade. I had this over in my walkway garden bed last year, and I had 2 of them die. So I purchased 2 more. I gave 1 to my mom, and I put 1 here. And so this is really has taken off. This is the Gatsby moon hydrangea. This is another hosta that I was originally in my front yard. It got way too big, so I had to dig it out, and I divided it into about 7 or 8. I'm not sure exactly how many pieces, but I planted 1 here, and there are others throughout the rest of my property. Here are some of the little blooms. As this tree gets bigger, the blooms get much bigger, but some of them are spent. It's gonna bloom more in the summertime. So yeah guys, this is my no shade garden. And now we're going to head around to the front of our shed. I have at the base of flanking each doorway a Hetz midget arborvitae, and this will get to be 3 to 4 feet tall and wide, so it'll be a nice round ball there. To the right of it, I have my mandevilla vine that was really small. I just planted this. I had 2 that I tried to overwinter in the shed, and they were big and beautiful. They were full, the obelisk was full. They were 2 years old, and they died. I don't know what I did. I did not water it enough over the winter time. So I decided to buy 2 more, because these things bloom and bloom and bloom and bloom and bloom and bloom like all summer long. You see, look at all those blooms. They have not opened. I absolutely love this, but you cannot leave this out all winter. Even in my 8A zone, it will die. So you have to either take it in the house or put it somewhere in a garage or somewhere where it's protected throughout the winter to overwinter it. To the right of my double door is another mandevilla and another Hetz midget arborvitae. Here I have another garden bed where I had my phenomenal lavender planted in the ground, and I started losing them. So I dug them out and I put them in pots. These two have, I mean, that one has put on a lot of growth, and this one has too, and it's even blooming. This one started to die back, and there was just a little bit of green in the back there, but it's starting to pick up now. So I need to put a little bit more soil in there, and it looks like it's bouncing back. I apologize for my air conditioning unit cutting on and off. So now we are going to walk along the pathway to my side yard in the backyard. These are Danica arborvitaes that I planted along this little garden bed, and they are so cute, y'all. They only get to like 1.5 to 2 feet tall and wide. So they will be these little small, little petite round balls, and I have 5 of them, and they will be leading up to the larger one at the end. And then all along the walkway, I have a ground cover juniper. I think that's the blue rug. I absolutely love these. They are evergreen, and it just, you know, provides a ground cover to like a big open space that you have. I have a couple more right there. I have one over there and one here. Right here, I have some of my Pulse Gold Lemon Thread Cypress. These get pretty big. They get to be about, and of course you can keep them pruned to whatever size you really want, but if you just let them grow, they get about 5 feet tall, anywhere to about 4 feet wide and 5 feet tall. But I'll try to keep them, you know, pruned to around maybe 4 feet tall. And then back here, I have purchased, y'all. I saw these last year and I didn't get them, and I said I got to get them sometime this year. I do not have any of the macrophylla hydrangeas, and when I saw this eclipse, I absolutely had to have it. This the little dark leaf, they're like almost black with like a little bit of green veining, but this is the eclipse, and it blooms like these big huge pink, hot pink blooms. So I have 2 of those, and this area right here gets a lot of shade. It's shaded by the shed, and if I ever need to come out here and put a umbrella up or something to shade it a little bit more, I will. But those should be nice right there until I can find another spot to put it in the ground, or it can just stay in the pots for a while, because those are some pretty nice sized pots. This behind my dragon prints, oh no, I'm sorry, my black dragon tree is another hosta, one of the transplanted from my front yard. That's another one of those. And this is my black dragon cryptomeria. I need to give it some attention. I have not fertilized it, but it's putting on some nice new growth. There's some brown needles that I need to get out of there, but it was really small when I first purchased it last year. It came to maybe right here, and so it's put on some nice growth. Over here I have my Madison Star Jasmine vine. There are 2 in there, and then there are 2 in this pot. These were the ones that I originally had planted on my espalier on my fence, and then after the first season they did not return. Well, 12 of the 16 that I had did not return. Only 4 did. So I dug them out. I planted 2 in each one of these pots because I only had 4. And then I bought the honeysuckle. The honeysuckle is more hardy in my zone. So I have been overwintering those in the shed. And they did perfectly fine in the shed over the winter time. Y'all, my sunshine ligustrums are bouncing back. I don't know if you guys can tell, but like this whole backside there was nothing. And you can see like some of the stems are still there, but it's like really putting on a lot of growth here. A lot of new leaves are coming. So I'm glad I did not I was gonna dig them up and take them to my parents' house, but I'm glad I didn't do it. They would have enjoyed it. They would have really liked it, but I really needed it somewhere on my property, and I absolutely love these. This is another one of the Sugar Shack button bushes that I have, and remember, this area of my property, just about all of my property, gets really wet and boggy soil, but on both of my sides it does a lot more than anywhere else. So this side has a lot of standing water sometimes, and so now for those I planted them up high because they don't necessarily like to be wet, but they're planted high, and I put a lot of pine bark nuggets in the bottom of the hole to help with drainage. But this loves wet feet, so this will be perfect right here. And y'all, this is my chocolate mimosa tree. It's the summer chocolate mimosa. I need to come and give it a little bit water, even though it's been raining a lot. I'm starting to see a little something on the tips. So I had one of these last year, purchased it, planted it. It was absolutely beautiful. About a month later, within the matter of 2 or 3 days, all of the leaves completely dropped. I called because I had a 1-year warranty, and they told me to do a scratch test. I'm not sure if you guys know what a scratch test is, but it's where you scratch the bottom of the trunk, and if it's green underneath, that means it's still alive. I did a scratch test. It was still green. They told me, that just to wait until the next year. This spring, it was doing nothing. Nothing. I did a scratch test. It was brown. It was dead. It was not coming back. So I took pictures. I emailed them again. I was 2 months shy of my 1-year warranty ending, and they, no questions asked, they sent me out a brand new one. All I had to do was pay for shipping, which was maybe $15 or $16. So I got this from fastgrowingtrees.com, and as of today, I purchased one of my Japanese maples from them. I purchased my crab apple from them. I purchased this from them, and I also purchased a weeping cherry tree that I thought was dead. I dug it up and got rid of it, but now that I'm thinking about it again, I never did a scratch test on it, and it may have not been dead, but that's neither here nor there. This has been gone. That was a year ago. This is a hydrangea that's gone that I need to dig up. So I have a plan, guys. What I'm gonna do is I have not completely decided what I'm going to plant here, but I'm not going to put anything in the ground. It is going to be a hydrangea. I'm not sure which one, but it is going to be a panicle hydrangea because obviously this side of my house gets too much sun. But I am going to buy something that's maybe 2 gallons. It's a little bit more established root system. I will put it in a pot like I did those. I will put the pot right here, and then I will have my panicle hydrangea. And then I am going to plant purple pixies all along here, and purple pixies all along there. I already have them in my shopping cart. I have not hit submit yet, but it will probably happen tonight. So more to come on that. That will be a project coming soon once those are delivered. They are some smaller ones than what I planted in the front side yard, so they will be tiny, but I have time to watch them grow. That is the beauty of gardening, just watching things grow. You know, it's just it's beautiful, and I like it. I forgot to show you guys this area. This is a little small little garden bed that I just planted up about maybe 3 weeks ago. It was nothing but weeds over here. I did a no-dig cardboard sheet mulch. I put cardboard down, I put a little bit of compost on top, and then I put some topsoil on top of that, and then I put down the dichondra seeds. It is a alternative ground cover that likes shade and sun, so they are really coming up. And it should soon like spread this entire area. Then I have this is the Little Lime Prime hydrangea tree, and it blooms a little bit later in the season, but I will soon, I'm not sure, but at some point when I finish the patio, I will probably bring this out onto the patio somewhere where it can get a little bit more sun. In the planters below it, I have some geranium there, and then behind it I have an elephant ear that my mom bought for me. Oh, there's a new leaf coming. She said when she first got it, my mom loves QVC. She shops and orders things off the TV all the time, and so this is where she got that from. She said when she got it in the mail, it had three leaves. Okay, I had to wait on the airplane to go by. But she said that when she got it in the mail, it had 3 leaves, but 2 of them were like broken and they started to die. So she just cut them back. And so I just had 1. And this was just, what, maybe 4 or 5 days ago? A week ago that I did this, that I potted this up. And I've already got 1 coming. So that's nice. And it is just like the black. It's called, I think it was called the black elephant ear. So I thought that would be nice to pot that up in the center. And I got the this is not angel wings. Oh shoot, what is the name of this? I cannot think of it. I will put it on the screen. I'm thinking angel wings because I want some angel wings very badly, and that's my next thing on my list to buy. But this is Dusty Miller. That's Dusty Miller. So it's close to it, but I popped in 4 little small pots of Dusty Miller in there to kind of contrast that black elephant ear. So that's this little area right here, guys. And remember, all of this is going to be different pretty soon. I have a surprise for you guys, and you will see it coming shortly, but I will not tell you what it is until the time is right. But yeah, guys, so the garden tour has come to an end. It's been a pretty long, it's going to be a long video. I really wanted to separate them because I knew my backyard was going to take a long time. There's a lot of things that I needed to explain and a lot of things I need to talk about, and so I did not want to rush it and put it all in one video. So I think I'm going to keep it this way. I'm going to do my garden tours where I'll have my front yard and the front side yard in one, and then I'll do my backyard and my backside yard in one. So we'll separate them into 2 videos. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys like the content that I am bringing to the channel, please consider subscribing. It is free to do so. If you subscribe, you can hit the bell so you'll get notifications when I post a video so that you don't miss anything. And also hit the like button if you like what I've brought to you today, and leave me a comment if you have some suggestions, or if you just like to say, you know, that you enjoy what I'm doing here. I love those as well. I like to communicate with you guys. I love the community that we have. I am meeting so many new people. I have some garden friends. I have a couple of sisters out there. And so I enjoy this. This is something that I love. It makes my heart happy to be out here and see what I have done, what I have created, and how it has changed so drastically in such a short period of time. So if you guys like that, please subscribe, like I said. And if you are already a subscriber, thank you guys for joining. And until then, till the next video, see you guys. Bye-bye.